Show. Show. Coffee. Hello. We are live. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Yes, there goes a notification. I don't want to give you deja vu, but I like to get excited when I see the notifications. I got my coffee. And all kinds of things going on inside here today. Manic as heck today. Heck fire, I like to say. I was down...
Stephen running.
Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning. I was down at the creek last
Les
night.
Peter Guitar Jam.
Hey, Moo.
Moo.
I didn't spend as much...
Josh
Moo.
G.
I didn't spend as much time down there
Good morning.
last night as I wanted to.
Billy Ballantyne.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Billy.
Morning.
Last night, I seem to remember, that's Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
Hello.
Welcome
Hey,
to the
Andrew.
show, buddy. I like when you guys fill in the freaking Discord when the shows are starting. It makes me feel important, man. Hey, people are here. People are showing up.
People should be here even the show is not on.
I know. I've got some personal things going on.
Oh, that was not to you, bro. It was not to you.
There you go. Hey, Andrew, he's talking to you.
About what?
He says you should hang out even when the show's not on in Discord.
So I should.
For the social aspect, it's quite the partay. That's French for party. Partay.
Yeah, I got that.
Sean the Orca
We are
Guy.
going to pull up.
All set for the show.
A few days ago, I said you guys really should watch Valuetainment, and then got a hold of the guy's politics. I was like, yeah, you guys probably shouldn't be watching Valuetainment. It's for people like me, okay? People who can watch that stuff and understand that the guy's lying to your face, okay? Now, luckily, he had 3 or 4 people on his last show, and there was one guy that was like me being on the show. Mr. Reality, bro. We're going to watch that, and I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about January 6th. We're going to talk about Tucker Carlson. We're going to talk about the narrative that he's produced and how all of these guys that are mirroring what Tucker Carlson said are repeating the talking points without realizing how dumb they sound. And even when you show them how dumb they sound and you give them an anecdote, you're like, hey, man, what you're saying is like me saying this. They still don't see it.
Michael has key.
It's like, fool me
Hi.
5 times, shame on me. You know, I mean, how many times can these guys be shamed over something that is just provably false? I don't know. We're going to get into it in a little bit. Sean, what's up? Michael has key. What's up, buddy? Glad you guys are here. Let's smoke a little something. Because I am fired up today, man. I am on, like, if I was a Jaguar, I'd be running on all 12 cylinders. That's all I'm saying. My blood is pumping today. My brain is being saturated with blood for some reason. It's just...
I'm a wolf.
What'd you say, Andrew?
I'm a wolf.
You're a what?
Michael
A
has
wolf.
key.
A wolf?
Glad to be
Yeah.
here.
Can I
I
be
feel the run and need today too.
Can I be a truck? If you're a wolf,
Yeah.
if you're a wolf, I can be a truck? Okay. I'm a truck, man. I'm a Mack truck. That's me. I'm just going down the highway. That's my impersonation of a Mack truck. Because we do only serious commentary on this show, folks. Welcome to the garden where we take everything completely seriously. Well, that smelled like a skunk for a second. OG Kush, though. And then the sweetness hits you. Oh, there was a little skunky flavor came out. And you know, the other day, Rogie and I were out in the yard, and he was chasing something on the ground. I had him on the leash, and we were going after it, and I thought I smelled skunk. And I was like, oh, bro, I was holding him back, because I'm like, I think that's a skunk. I could smell what I thought was skunk. It was the lemon tree that I was standing next to that I was smelling. It was a possum. But the lemon tree was putting off like that terp, you know? That skunky terp. Oh, we got the Bezel. We got the Bezel. So let's bring in the Bezel Cam Extreme. The Bezel Cam Extreme. Let's see if we can. Why do you have to be like that? Why do all wires have to be like that? Okay, let's try it like this now. And let's try it like this. Oh, there's the Bezel. Look at them straight leg jeans I'm wearing. Hey. All right, here, wait. There's my bees. There's my Bezel. Beezling along the floor. Okay, cool. You see how I kind of snuggle my feet up underneath them a little bit there? Got my little foot warmer. Okay, so, next order of business. Cyber, are you packed?
Yeah, I am packed.
Jiminy?
I am.
Hey, Andrew, hey, Andrew, hey.
Yep.
You're good? Okay.
Yep.
Everybody in the chat, Hasky, Sean, Billy, Josh G, everyone that might be watching on the Rumble Sphere as well, thank you for joining us today. Cheers, guys. We got all kinds of content.
Cheers, bro.
All
Cheers,
kinds of stuff to
everybody.
talk about.
Cheers.
Tasty and smooth and delicious.
Yep. That was.
I did 200 push-ups this morning.
I did 100, but.
Two sets of 100. I did one set.
Steven. Cheers.
I did one set and I was like, I think I've rested enough. I'm doing another.
Yeah.
So,
No need for that.
the first order of business is the title, okay? So, in the title, you'll see it's talking about Tucker Carlson's whole thing about the insurrection. I want to get you these guys' takes on it because these guys are...
Fed chair opens door to faster rate moves.
Okay, that's the wrong one. Here it is.
Murdoch and everything.
Okay, I got 12 minutes. I'm sorry, my math was off. I got 12 minutes into that video, guys. It is a 25-minute video. And by 12 minutes, man, I was applauding. I was like, yes. And even though I disagree 100% mostly with what Valuetainment says most of the time, I like his style. I like his manner. I like the way he approaches debating and conversations. He's a good-looking guy. And he makes a lot of sense when he's talking. He's a common sense type dude. He's playing for the wrong team, man. You know, and he tries to straw man his way through like Ben Shapiro does. And it ends up falling short. So even with the tie and the nice set, and he's a good-looking guy, and he's got all these cool-looking guys around him all the time, and they're making sense, and they're being calm, and it's got all that attractiveness that a podcast can bring you. When you're listening to the content, you're like, yeah, it's not measuring up. Now, here's the problem. That's just a handful of us that realize that, and then the majority of people that watch his show think he's the cat's pajamas. He's totally, making sense and hitting all the points, and he's satisfying every piece of narrative that you've got, right? So you think. But watch Valuetainment with me. Watch Valuetainment, and this is where I got to give him total credit. I give him credit for not only having this other gentleman on, who's the counterbalance, who is the truth, but for not interrupting him and being polite to him
The
and letting him
freaking
speak
Oracle.
the way he does. It's
Morning hall driving and listening.
It's inspiring and it's enlightening to watch. It makes me happy. It lifts me up. Even though I'm disagreeing with every single word this man is about to say. Here, watch. This is somebody speaking and me not agreeing with almost anything that he says. Watch.
Tucker Carlson releases exclusive January 6th footage. Says politicians, media lied about Sicknick, QAnon, shaman. Tucker Carlson released this. Pushed by, he says, in January 6, 2021 rise that challenges various narratives pushed by the Democratic-controlled House Select Committee on Mainstream Media. The footage shows Trump supporters peacefully touring the building, contradicting the news coverage of January 6th that likened the event to 9/11 and the attacks on Pearl Harbor. Capitol Police officers were seen escorting Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, around the building without incident. Carlson reported that officers were seen showing Chansley around, even trying to open locked doors.
I'm going to stop. What is he reading? What is the source? Because it already said something that was biased. So what's the source of what he's reading?
Tucker Carlson releases exclusive January 6th footage, says politicians, media lied about Sicknick, QAnon shaman.
Okay.
Tucker Carlson released this.
He's reading an article I think that somebody wrote, I believe. So when it gets to this one part,
he says, in January 6, 2021 rise that challenges various narratives pushed by the Democratic-controlled House Select Committee on Mainstream Media. The footage shows Trump supporters peacefully touring the building, contradicting the news coverage of January 6th.
That David, right?
did you hear that? Contradicting the news coverage of the insurrection. He says there's other footage that shows them walking peacefully through the Capitol, being guided by police. The shaman, Q shaman guy with the buffalo horns, being guided by police in them. Yes, I've seen that footage too. Here's the problem. That article that he's reading says that that stuff contradicts the other footage. But here's the problem. Footage doesn't contradict footage, man. Truth doesn't contradict truth. Do you guys understand what I said? In other words, yeah, there were people peacefully walking through the building on that day. The shaman was getting guided by a couple of police officers. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe they're cue balls. Maybe those two big pigs are fucking cue balls and they knew who that guy was and they're fans of his. He's huge. He had a big following, right? Look at him. He had the makeup and all that. People knew who that guy was. Do you ever think that maybe those two pigs were fans of his? Wow, okay, so he found two friends, that happened to be pigs, and they fucking were in on it with him, whatever, and they led him around. Okay, facts, fine, that's great. Here's my other question. What about all the other footage? Does that footage now no longer exists? It didn't happen? Because now you could see some peaceful footage, and let me ask you this. Is it possible that the Q shaman was conspiring with those other two police officers, and maybe this is even more of a crime that we've uncovered here? Maybe it's even worse than we thought. But for one thing's for sure is, it doesn't undo facts. Video doesn't contradict video.
Bob all day.
Facts don't contradict facts. So whatever he's reading there is biased, and it's not making any sense. So I hope I was able to explain that to all of you, and all of you in the chat right now should be able to say, nay, I completely understand and agree with what you just said. Let me know if you have a problem with what I just said. Because if you're on the Tucker Carlson side of this, you should already be able to debate me on what I just said. On the basics of facts and what you see based on unedited video. I'm assuming the hesitation in the chat is that you guys are saying, but wait, that shaman guy got 4 years in prison. All he did in that video is walk with police officers and get ushered around. I say this, were those police officers involved? And maybe he's involved because those guys were fans of his, and maybe that makes it a conspiracy. And maybe they were helping him. Maybe they were. Maybe those two police officers were helping him. It seemed like they were. Does that make it less of an infraction, the insurrection? Does that make it less of an occurrence because two cops looks like they may have been involved in this too? Because that's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing two police officers doing their job that they usher people around the freaking Capitol every day, which is what Tucker Carlson and this guy's trying to say. Oh, they took him on a tour. They were taking him on a tour of the Capitol. No, I think they were showing where things were, so when the insurrection
G.
came through, they would know
Him
where all
with
the
your
places
man.
were. It would
I
be
see
very
how people's
interesting
minds
to hear
want
what
to
the
lean towards a
conversations were that they were
conspiracy,
having
and
while they
maybe
were
it is
walking around in
deeper
those
than it
hallways.
seems.
I would maybe get the
But
two
it
police
still
officers
happened,
and
and
the
violence
shaman
did
up
occur.
on a goddamn stand in a court of law, and I'd ask them, I'd be, hey, what was the conversation you guys were all having at that moment? Did these two guys know you? That's all. Open up another investigation. You guys laugh at the January 6th investigation. Maybe if you guys had given a shit about the January 6th investigation, you could have had that evidence presented. But you didn't give a shit. Y'all turned your backs on it. You said it was a farce. And because of you didn't want to pay attention to it, you haven't really watched all the footage of January 6th like I have. And like everyone who watched those hearings has. Not a single person is disagreeing with me. That's fine, man. You guys are more than welcome to disagree with me. I'm just going to prove you wrong really fast. I know Tucker Carlson and this guy, they're very powerful, influential people, man. You listen to them, he's smooth, he's nice, you want to go have a beer with that guy. He's nice, man. You guys could talk about all kinds of stuff, right? Why would he be lying and supporting a narrative that he has no data to support? Why would he do that?
That likened the event to 9/11 and the attacks on Pearl Harbor. Capitol Police officers were seen escorting Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, around the building without incident. Carlson reported that officers were seen showing Chansley around, even trying to open locked doors for him. The footage also challenges the narrative that the events of January 6th were a deadly insurrection. Officer Brian Sisnick was seen walking normally while guiding Trump supporters out of the building while wearing a helmet, which contradicts the media narrative that he died of a head injury.
Whatever that... Okay, is he going to say what the report is?
This. Now.
No, he says this is this. I'm going to say this. That wasn't the narrative. Okay, at first they said, yeah, this guy got killed in there, and then the truth came out, and when things cleared up and the smoke cleared, the truth of what the media put out, because I heard it on multiple mainstream media sources, was that Brian Sicknick died the day after the insurrection of a stroke, which was induced from the stress of the day before. Now, if you're going to have a stroke because you suffer through something like January 6th the next day, in between the time that you are all worked up and you're dealing with an insurrection and the time that you have the stroke, in between that time, you're going to be acting normal. Everything's going to be fine, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 days. This, in his case, it was 1 day. This is what happens when people are subjected to traumatic experiences like that and they have health risks. They can drop dead the next day. So, the media narrative was exactly what happened once they had figured out what had happened. So this is a biased report that he's reading. It's got two absolutely false statements within it.
Everyone's saying stuff about Tucker, negative.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course, they
Twitter's
have to.
blowing up. I can't believe he said this. I can't believe he said that.
The
Did you
guy
get
on the
clip
left
I
with the
sent you
red
about
shirt.
What Kevin McCarthy said?
That
I
guy.
don't have it.
That's
Do you
our
have it?
guy.
If you don't have it, let me just send it to you. So
He's
you
writing
know,
stuff
texted
down.
it to
See him writing
myself.
shit down.
If you go to, let me send this to you. You have to see this. While we're pulling this up, Vinny, why don't you give us your thoughts, and then I'll go to Kevin
All
McCarthy.
right, so, and I want to ask everybody. I want to ask you, Pat,
Now-
Rob, all the, everybody.
Okay. This guy is a human piece of garbage. Listen to him speak.
Everybody in chat, what was the reason for the January 6th situation? And mind you, I call it a situation because it wasn't an insurrection. Insurrection is a violent uprising against the government or authority. Let me explain something. For everybody that saw what's happening, especially with Tucker, it was none of that, all right? So, and when I asked why, Pat, why did the people go to the Capitol? It's a rhetorical question. Why'd they go? Because those people thought that the election was stolen from them. And my question is, Pat, is that such a far-fetched idea for them to think that the left would do something like that? All right. And you know what? The answer is no, Pat. They've lied, the left and the government. They lied about Russia. They lied about COVID. They lied about vaccines. They lied about Hunter Biden. They lied about the border. They lied about China. The audacity to be like, how dare you guys question us? It's like, bro, shut the hell up. And then you have Schumer, it's left and right. Schumer and Mitch McConnell, the alien, going, hey, Fox, don't you dare show this. Pat, why not? Let us see the truth. And you know the people that died, Pat, it was the
That's the first thing he said so far that I agree with. If you can believe that. Yeah, all the footage should have been released. It all should have been made visible. This whole thing with the two cops ushering that Q shaman guy through the Capitol, that all should have been available to all of us. I am a eyes open, full disclosure, transparency kind of guy. That's me, and that's what he just said too. Release all the footage. You know, why is Mitch McConnell saying the footage shouldn't have been released or whatever? You know, it's his narrative. It's his narrative. Mitch McConnell's narrative. Of course, he doesn't want anything that he views in his mind is going against what he believes. Yeah, okay, sure, I'll give them that. Absolutely. There's manipulation, absolutely. There's lying, yes. There's misreporting, yes. There's a narrative from the left, absolutely. Absolutely. But you don't get to push back this far without me calling you on your bullshit. And that's why I'm here, folks.
Ashley Babbitt was one of the ones that was murdered. She was a United States Air Force veteran.
Like I said, I've disagreed with everything he's said until that one thing he said. Now we're back to bullshit. That girl, Ashley Babbitt, was not murdered. Okay? In the context of an insurrection, which is what was going on, they were trying to stop the steal. You've got to stop the steal. We're going to march to the Capitol. I'm going to march right along with you. We're going to stop the steal. Right? In the context of that chaos, and that gentleman that had a firearm on him inside the Capitol because it was his job to protect people, takes that weapon and shoots somebody who's screaming like a wild banshee with a mob behind her bashing the freaking door to get in. That's not murder. It's manslaughter. You know, what that guy did was his job. He had to think lightning fast what to do, and he made the right decision. Did he even go to court or get charged for anything for that, guys? Now that his identity has been exposed. I think he did not. You know, because in that case, it's pretty cut and dry what was going on. The simple use of the word murder is done intentionally by this guy. He's a little smooth. He's not as smooth as his buddy. He's a little smooth, and that's like calling it the jab. Calling what happened to Ashley Babbitt murder. That she got murdered. She got killed. She got shot and killed. She didn't get murdered. The guy was doing his job. I mean, it wasn't done in a pre-context. Isn't that what makes it murder? You plan it. You intentionally...
One would imagine, yeah.
Are planning. You're doing it with malice. This guy was hired to use that gun if he had to. He's trained to use that gun if he had to. Ashley Babbitt was 8 feet tall on the other side of that glass when he shot her. She got exactly what she deserved, and she knew better. She was in the military. She knew what she was doing. Don't tell me this wasn't an insurrection. She's an ex-soldier. At the tip of the spear, bro. What, because she's a girl? It's not an insurrection because Ashley Babbitt was a girl? What if she was some big dude? Ex-military. Green Beret dude. Oh, well, that was probably an insurrection. He was leading them all. But why not her? She was Air Force, bro. And correct me if I'm wrong in any of this. I do believe they just stated that.
Air Force veteran, unarmed. She was shot and murdered by a Capitol Police. That's one. And that Brian Sicknick, who was wearing a helmet, they said was killed with blunt force trauma. He had a stroke.
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't.
There was a mistake, and they corrected it. They retracted their mistake. And I'll appreciate these guys retracting their mistake, too, in the next upload that they make. They can respond to me, and they can say, hey, man, that guy that does this all day, he was right about us. You know, he called us on our bullshit. Let's
What they
print a
tried
retraction.
to say that it was. These people were there because, you know what? They don't believe the government. And this is my thing. I'm actually not proud, but impressed. You know what? When you have a problem and you think the government is effing with you, that's what you go to the government.
Okay.
You don't burn down your city. You don't kill your own people.
No.
You don't burn down.
No, he's right, but you protest them peacefully. Now, I agree with what he's saying right here. And as much as I dislike him as a human being, I'm going to have to say, hey, I agree with the words that are coming out of his shithole right now.
Businesses in your town, like remember with the riots, people were burning down BLM, Antifa. They burned down their own city.
They shouldn't do
If you
that.
have a problem with authority,
They shouldn't burn things
go
down.
to the authority. If
No
someone-
one should burn things down. We should all, if you want to protest, you protest. Do it in large numbers. Do it correctly. Do it peacefully. Do not block traffic. Do not cause harm. Do it in silence. Just be present, you know, and go and protest peacefully. I agree.
What I saw, Tom, that shaman was walking around, smiling, taking selfies, talking to people.
Right,
They had
right. On the Tucker Carlson footage. Have you seen the shaman footage from the January 6th hearings? That would be my question. Did you see him outside riling up the crowd, screaming to stop the steal and to Mike fence, but with a P? You might want to go review that footage from the January 6 hearings that I'm pretty sure all of you just refused to watch, just like every Republican said, I'm not watching it. Jimmy Dore, I'm not watching that. Jackson Hinkle, I'm not watching that. I'm like, oh wow, you guys aren't full disclosure kind of guys. You guys don't want to see what they have to offer. You don't want to see evidence, hear testimony from actual Republicans who were in the Trump administration on that day. It was fascinating. Those of you who watched that with me, let me know in the chat if you found the January 6th committee hearings fascinating like I did about what happened on that day. You were interested to find out at least what they're going to tell you. Even with whatever spin the left puts on their it's
The
like a court
freaking
case. They're trying to
oracle.
prove something to you, right?
Look up the definition of murder under the United States Criminal Code to see if you're right.
Yeah, just
Steven.
Google it. Okay, Google.
Yes.
Murder definition.
I can search the web for that. Just tap the search chip below.
How about you just tap my fucking balls into your mouth, you stupid fucking cunt? How about that? Fucking technology. You're smart enough to tell me to tap the search chip. You're smart enough to tell me that, but you're not smart enough to just fucking tell me what the goddamn definition of murder is? God, man. The unlawful killing, right? That wasn't unlawful.
Billy
The
Valentine.
unlawful killing of a human
Pretty
without
sure it'll tell you when one
justification
man kills
or
another.
valid excuse. Especially with the unlawful killing of another human with malice aforethought. Definition of murder, that's the Google translation that pops up first. I read it right off the screen, Ken. There you go. Since you didn't want to take my word for it, a lot of you don't trust me. That's cool, man. It's cool. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to be a little bitch. Because I just want you guys to believe me, man. And I don't know what I have to do to get you to believe me. That guy's using that fucking word murder for a fucking reason. I'm telling you, you love that guy or something, man? You think I'm a liar? It's just like people use the word jab for a fucking reason. It's a negative connotology. You know, whatever your fucking reason is, we know why you say it. Mr. fucking Jimmy Dore. Mr. Jabby Dore. What's up, Jabby Dore? That's your new fucking name. Stop watching my show, you fucking cuck. Anyway. Back to this.
The freaking oracle. There you go, then it's not murder, it's manslaughter.
Exactly. But that's what I said, isn't it? Isn't that the exact words that I used? Anyway, my point is this. Thank you, Cyber. These guys are trying to paint a narrative that mirrors, now this is the psychotic part, what Tucker Carlson is saying. So they were given this evidence by Tucker Carlson. He produced this narrative, and now all these guys are running with it. And Tucker Carlson has been proven to be shaming his own audience now for years, since the Trump administration, right? Tucker Carlson hates his fucking audience. I don't blame him. It's fucking Fox News. It's fucking Fox News. It's a bunch of fucking haters. So it's like psychotic though when you think about it. It's almost like Tucker Carlson is just, he's such a sellout, but he knows exactly what the fuck is going on. And he's just like, this was the only way I could figure out how to make a whole bunch of money. I guess that's why he sold out like this. Because now that I think about it, I don't think he goes with all of the hardline garbage that he spouts all the time. But there's no telling where his line is. It's like with Jimmy Dore. You know, what do you what of your own bullshit do you subscribe to, or are you just doing it to get more people to your show?
Like me just makes us strizzen the hell out of them. I'm now after Jimmy Dore hard.
Really? Did he block you, bro? You told me he blocked you. I see how people's minds want to lean toward a conspiracy, and maybe it's deeper than it seems, but it still happened and violence did occur. Josh G, well said. I'm sorry I had to talk over you there. I was trying to make a statement. That's it. I like the way you use Streisand. Like the way you use that term. Streisand the hell out of somebody. All right. Let's just... Hey, man. That guy's dick... They went to the lake last week, dude. He caught one that was... Oh my God, dude. How many people are watching over on Rumble? You know?
Billy Valentine. Yep. But it just dawned on me. So I'm gonna go after him cross-platform. By the time he blocks me on everything, he'll know my name by heart.
Oh. That's so funny. All right, I've got to get my door. Hold on, guys. Yeah. Okay. You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, so we've got a leak in the wall, and the plumber has arrived. He's going to look at it right now. Anyway, did this guy tell you all how big his dick was yet? So I'm gonna go after him crossfire with. It's so funny when the little kid says what Billy says, because Billy says some pretty serious shit in a little kid voice. It's so fucking wrong and funny. Okay, so let's hear what else this guy has to say. I got 11. I really didn't remember too much this guy had to say. I remember what the guy in the red and black shirt says, man. You guys are going to really like that guy.
Ropes escorting people into
He's
where.
gonna-
And what about?
He's going to remind you of me. What? Somebody saying something? Oh, he's talking on the podcast. Yeah, the guy's going to remind you of me. You'll see.
Yeah.
Slowly, and they would touch him on the shoulder to say, no, this way, and they would open the door for him. He was waiting at doors, and they were like, hang on a second, I'll open this for you.
Yes.
And you're looking at it, it says, wait a minute.
It's a
Because he was wearing that headdress and the fur, the media used that as, this is a psycho person, this is part of the insurrection. But the truth was, yeah, he was wearing a headdress with the fur, but he was walking around.
It looked like a guided tour field trip. And Ray Epps, who Christy, one of our writers in here, wrote about it past. She said insurrection or Fedsurrection or one of those things. Everybody thought the guy was an FBI agent, and in court they showed his text. You know what he told his nephew? He goes, I orchestrated the protest at the Capitol. He goes, I helped people get there. That's that guy that was wearing the Trump hat and was yelling at people to go. This is when we're going to go, and we're going to attack the Capitol. And why isn't that guy in jail? If you give 4 years to the shaman guy that was on a tour of the Capitol, but Ray Epps, the guy that was inciting violence, and guess what? I don't trust them. So good for them. They should have, you know what? It shouldn't have happened on January 6th. When they found out these people with Russian collusion, it was all a hoax with Hillary and the government lied. That's when they were late. You guys should have gone there a year earlier, 2 years earlier, and gone and talked shit. So I'm
that chair has a whole freaking mini-me Dr. Evil vibe, bro. I'm looking at that chair, and it's all I can think is like, number 2.
I'm not for violence, but I'm for, if you have a problem with the government, go talk to the fucking government. Don't burn down your own city. That's my point.
Tom, thoughts?
I'm just listening to this, and Vinny, I thank you for your passion. I mean,
Thank you.
I was disappointed and shocked, and what came to my mind was they freaking lied to the public about this guy, and they railroaded him.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is doing 3 years.
Four actually.
And apparently he's got a couple psychomedical issues, you know, and real issues. And so this guy got railroaded. All the footage that we see, now I understand why all the committee members didn't want Fox to put this up, because it immediately shows that...
Could these guys go and research who the Q shaman was, or what his social media posts entailed, and how many people were exposed to those, how many people he got to come out there? And I wonder if these guys, you know, or they're just going by what Tucker Carlson fed them, spoon-fed them, right? And gave them nothing else. It's like Tucker Carlson is shaming these people so bad by doing that to them, by not including the context, the balanced context. That, you know, Fox used to say fair and balanced. It's hilarious. He will show a couple of seconds of people pushing back gates, fighting with police officers, smashing through the glass, because everybody has seen those over and over and over again. Tucker will show those for a few seconds, and then he'll show, you know, the shaman, you know, walking for 3 minutes, you know, followed by that.
Capitol Police and the prosecution.
There were 3 minutes where the shaman was walking, you know.
Put him in jail because he looked funny and was walking around with a headdress, and it fit the narrative.
Should I
was
look up
incredibly
Q
disappointed
Shaman
when
and
I-
see
when I
how
saw this
popular the guy
yesterday.
was?
Just like, there he is.
Since these
Look,
guys
he's on
don't
a
even do it.
tour. Where's the insurrection?
These guys they investigate. It's funny. It says Tucker investigates. He's not investigating anything. He's showing you one side, one narrative, and shoving it down your throats. That's not investigating. Investigating, you should be going and watching the January 6th investigation in addition to this footage. You get the whole picture. I don't understand why what the footage that the 6th committee used is off limits. It's psychotic. And that footage was not taken by just hall cameras. It was taken by the very people who were down in there participating in the insurrection, man. They were proudly videotaping each other beating police officers. Do you realize that? How do you explain all that footage? This is psychotic. I want to look up the Q Shaman really quick since these guys didn't have the... they're too lazy to do it. Let's just put it that way. Q Shaman history. Social media. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a couple of tests. I need to
Hoot and howl.
on one of the hose faucets on
Heard we're going sightseeing at Area 51 next.
so you don't run any water at all, okay?
Okay. All right. Absolutely. No water for the next 10 minutes.
Yes, sir, and I'll let you know as soon as I can, that you're free to use it.
Okay, great. No toilets. Hey, Dad, you hear that? Hey, Rogan, don't use the water. Okay. I'm just trying to think if water comes on anywhere. Nope, I think we're good. Cool. QAnon Shaman. That's his name. QAnon Shaman. So let's find out. Okay, one photograph is misrecognized as QAnon Donald Trump disputing the election results. Is one of the most recognized within the QAnon movement and has frequently appeared at right-wing rallies showing support for Donald Trump and disputing the election results. QAnon Shaman who stormed Capitol denies he is Antifa, as someone, I guess, was claiming.
Billy Ballantyne. How easily we forget. We already stormed Area 51. Was it that event?
Let's get the history of him.
Hoot and howl. They camped outside, they didn't storm inside. Are you Cucker Carl song?
They camped outside. They didn't storm inside. Who are you talking about? How did Ashley Babbitt get shot? Tell me. Oh,
Hoot and howl.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Area 51 is what I'm talking about.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Billy Ballantyne.
I want to get this guy's social media.
Hoot go screw your mother.
Social media.
Cock off at me and you'll be wondering why your computer starts slowing down. Bitch.
That's so cute. Bitch. Little hacker girl. She was a 14-year Air Force veteran, Ashley Babbitt.
Hoot in hell. If you gotta say you are a hacker, you are in your mom's basement.
Okay, so this guy was the QAnon shaman. QANON. Shaman. History on social media. It's so hard to find. It all comes up QAnon when you do that.
Billy Valentine. Hoot the hell up. Silly bitch ass, know nothing, kiss ass, Pedia life drinking, defective testicle. Billy Valentine. Wait till I walk in my office. Hoot in hell. You're so cool.
Huh. Yeah, he was just peacefully walking through. He wasn't having fucking pictures of himself taken in the goddamn speaker's seat. You know, holding the gavel or anything like that. There's a fucking photograph of him.
Billy Valentine. I am cool. I know tricks. Watch.
Huh? November 5th, 2020, 2 days after the presidential election. Where's the, why don't I see the...
That's right. What do we want? We want Trump 2020!
Whoa, so this is, he's at this rally right here. You can see him. You can see this horn stick right out.
That's what we want, Trump 2020.
Open mic. Oh, I'll take it. One more time. Let me see. One more time. Thank you. Stay clear of the speaker. Oh, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I'd like to say is this. Regardless of the illusions that the media would like to paint, the lies that what we're doing is ineffective, that we are quote-unquote violent, you know, all of this is black magic, ladies and gentlemen. And if you really look into the elite and what they're into, they are into black magic. And if you look into Operation Mockingbird, then you will realize that the CIA that was infiltrated by the Nazis then infiltrated the media, all 6 major media corporations. And they started doing worldview warfare and propaganda machine work on the American populations through the Mockingbird media, what I call the Mockingbird media because of Operation Mockingbird. Okay, so what we're witnessing here is called compartmentalization through the propagandization of very specific groups, LGBTQ, blacks, whites, gays, straights. And what the media does along with the politicians is they tell these people the talking points that they want to hear so that they get their votes. They give them the thumbs up before the election, and then they give them the middle finger after the election. And then the media does a great job of covering up for these politicians and keeping everybody fighting within the country as opposed to uniting.
There he is. He's a Q activist, bro. He goes and speaks, man. Here's a short documentary we made from video of that day. Really? What's this all about? 47 minutes. QAnon Anonymous presents what? Post-election MAGA wake.
Whoa. Say no, Joe. No, Joe. Joe. No Beto Joe. No Beto Joe. That's right. What do we want? We want Trump 2020. That's what we want, Trump 2020.
Open mic. Oh, I'll take it. One more time. Let me see. One more time. Thank you. Stick here. Oh, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I'd like to say. This decision affects 7 generations from now. Okay? Now, we have to ask ourselves that exact same question. If we stand down now, how will our choice affect the 7th generation? Will there be a 7th generation in the United States if we have a communist infiltration? The answer is no. No, it will not.
They will get rid of all of us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you are the front lines. Hold the line, patriots. This is worldview warfare. We are taking the nation back. We will not allow communism in the United States.
Okay, we heard about all this stuff, and it was really true. But I want to tell you what they're counting in there right now, because I personally myself.
Listen, guys. What they're about to say, I'm not allowed to play it on YouTube. I know exactly what she's about to say, and they literally have an algorithm for that. It's called denying the election from 2020. And if her words are heard on my channel, I'll get a strike, man. So I got to stop right there. But and let me just say, I don't agree with anything they're talking about. We're just, watching some videos of some shit. I'm trying to find out how much history was behind this guy and how much influence he had and how many people were following him. He's showing up at this little event here with, less than 100 people. That's not very impressive. But if he's on Twitter or TikTok or a Truth Social or, one of those things, Rumble, and he's got, 1 million people, and then out of those million, maybe 100 or 200 showed up at the Capitol that day, and maybe those 2 police are 2 of his followers. Who knows, man? But you guys on the right that are toting Tucker Carlson's dick around, I just want you to know something, man. You guys look like a bunch of fucking cucks. You'll believe anything that douchebag feeds you. And that's fucking pathetic. I'm talking to you, Jib Monkey. Whatever the fuck, dude. He's one of those people that the insurrection never happened, denial kind of dudes. It doesn't even make sense. He called it he says that was a walk in the park. There was no insurrection. What's my title of this video say? It says an unsuccessful coup. It's still a coup. Just because the guys that were trying to overthrow the government were a bunch of fucking dipshits, and luckily there weren't enough real soldiers there to get organized and actually do something.
Food in hell.
Luckily.
Hi, you watched your heartbeat before watching Tucker as well as during.
Have you watched it? No, that's a good idea, though. It's a good idea. I don't think Tucker Carlson brings up my heart rate that much. I think it's all the fucking idiots that believe his bullshit when he literally goes out in court and has to admit that he's lying and that he hates his fucking audience. He thinks they're all a bunch of morons. And they still love him. And people like the guys who are watching, I want to go back to that. The guys who are watching over here, these, where'd they go? I lost them. Shit. moved them away, didn't I?
Woodchuck Montrose. Do you think the Speaker of the House
And a
had
higher
anything to
peak.
do with the insurrection, being that she's over security of the White House?
I'll look at that in just a second. Give me a second here.
So at 13 years old, I had a.
I don't want to know what you had at 13 years old, bro. Sorry. None of my business. Dude, where are his videos? Okay, here it is. My bad.
Where's the insurrection?
I'm sorry, it took
Where's
so
Watch
long.
him stop.
I'm
He's
sorry
going to
that
come
took so long
back.
for me to find.
Yeah, and like, dude, the guy was on a freaking field trip that was with roped off and guided around. Like, yes, guess what? There were some hooligans. Every time you get hundreds of people together, look at this.
So look at
Look
this.
at the
There's
cop
two
behind
cops.
them. Yeah.
Two cops in the hall.
Let them go in.
And they said that security detail in the orange vest.
Look at this.
Now he's going to walk through here.
Carrying the American
The cop
flag
behind
with
them.
him.
Where's the violence? This guy, dude, you know how many people are in solitary confinement right now? You know how many people are not going to see the light of day?
So let me show this. Can you show me what Chuck Schumer's reaction was to this? It's very
Yeah.
different than what Vinny said. I just texted it to you. If you can play Chuck Schumer's reaction. Here's Schumer's reaction.
Yeah.
These lies.
Anything to do with the insurrection? She's over. Woodchuck Montrose. That's one of the dumbest things anybody's ever said in here, bro. I mean, do you think Nancy Pelosi had something to do with the goddamn insurrection on January 6th, Woodchuck Montrose? Do you think Nancy Pelosi, this former Speaker of the House, that was trapped in there on video with her daughter videotaping her, saying she was going to punch Donald Trump out for this bullshit? You think she helped plan that? God, people like you are such suckers, man. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan too? One of these idiots on this show says, I watch Tucker Carlson and I watch Sean Hannity. I'm like, oh, God. You know? But we need to keep going. Cyber, you ready to smoke, buddy?
Let me check.
Because we got to push through this because
Yeah,
we got to
I
get
have
to
one packed.
we got to get to the smart guy, man. So okay, cheers to you. Cheers to everybody else that
Continue
might still be here with us in both
Rupert
chats.
Murdoch, who has admitted
This
they
is
were
worth it,
lies
bro.
and said he regretted
Everyone's
it, has a
back.
special
420.
obligation to
Cheers.
stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth.
Yeah.
And from letting him go
Billy
on
Valentine.
again and again and again.
Cheers. Back to
Not
blue
because
cream
their
today.
views deserve such opprobrium, but because our democracy depends on it.
Oh, there we
These
go.
lies.
There you go. Let me guess.
Our democracy depends on Tucker not showing this.
Let me explain something to you.
Right.
The threat
Yeah,
to
maybe it does.
Okay.
Maybe there's going to be a real
No, they make a good point. That's bullshit. I agree with them.
insurrection when the people see what's happening.
Tom, here's my question. What is wrong, Pat, with just let me see, I guess the 40,000 hours, they pick just those type of moments. What are you so scared of? What is the fear in letting me see like what's happening?
agree.
It's like the Zapruder film where
Same
they're like,
point.
like out of everybody,
Same
one guy
point.
recorded
I still
it.
agree
People, the government was like, no,
with
they
Mini-Me.
tried not to show it. Let me see it so I can make my own decision. I don't need Chuck Schumer. I don't need Mitch McConnell.
He
to
is the
tell
other
me
dude's
what I
Mini-Me.
can and what I can't see.
Can
I
you
just
play?
realized that.
Can you play Kevin McCarthy's
That's
video?
Dr. Evil.
Can you play Kevin
Number
McCarthy
two.
with his reaction?
And the dude in the chairs is Mini-Me.
Tucker Carlson. Last night he went on, so this was a mostly peaceful chaos, as he said. He downplayed Brian Sicknick's death, said it was not related to January 6th, said this was not an insurrection. Do you regret giving him this footage so he could whitewash the events of that day?
No, I said at the very beginning transparency. And so what I wanted to produce for everybody is exactly what
transparency? How is transparency only giving the footage to Fox News, you fucking moron? You goddamn hypocrite. We can hear you, dude. We hear the words that you're saying, and we see the actions that you perform. We can figure out that you're a fucking lying piece of shit dumbass.
I said, that people can actually look at it and see what's
Good for you. Good for you.
And they're cheering them on. The right-wingers are cheering. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, whatever.
What I just wanted to make sure is I had transparency. Because I know in
Whatever,
CNN,
dude.
I mean, I had here,
Making sure there was
you guys actually
transparency
really-
would have been releasing that all publicly and not giving it to your little narrative fuckboy, Tucker Carlson.
Where we were, this was a secret location, Fort McLeod.
Wow.
I don't know if you got concerned by that. I don't even know from a point of view of security if we could ever be taken there again. But when you broke that
Wow.
at CNN, that was a real concern to a lot of people. I had a real concern also when I wanted to make sure transparency. Look, the officer's death is tragic, and anytime an officer is passed in this situation, I want to make sure they're protected. I want to make sure the transparency goes forward.
Speaker McCarthy, was this in any way part of the deal that you made to win the speakership? To specifically give the content to
No, the
Tucker?
answer is no. And if you follow, I'm not sure if you were there the times before, I got asked the question in a press what I would do in the process. I've watched on January 6th committee how it was only politically driven. Now on the January 6th committee, you couldn't, the minority side wasn't allowed to put people on. And I just thought it was fair if someone asked me the question, just transparency. So what I tried to do is be able to release the information, which we'll do to everybody.
It's good.
I worked.
That's like, I mean, Pat, you know what that is? You know why the left is so pissed off? It's like, how dare you change our narrative that we've been sitting on to try to get Trump not to run again? That's exactly what the hell you're seeing, and good for him. I don't give a damn about what deal he did. That's ballsy, and I love the fact that, Pat, he had an article right in front of you.
I like the way he says the left. I mean, you know, it is their narrative, whatever, but you're really just listening to two people talk and you're calling them the left. So that's not really fair.
Face CNN giving our location because you guys wanted us to get hurt. So kiss my ass.
Adam.
What?
All right, Vinny, thank you for your passion.
CNN reported their location because they wanted them to get hurt. What's that all about?
Like, I mean, Pat, you know what that is? You know why the left is so pissed off? It's like, how dare you change our narrative that we've been sitting on to try to get Trump not to run again? That's exactly what the hell you're seeing, and good for him. I don't give a damn about what deal he did. That's ballsy, and I love the fact that, Pat, he had an article right in front of your face. CNN giving our location because you guys wanted us to get hurt. So kiss my ass.
Adam.
All right, Vinny, thank you for your passion. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I actually spent a lot of time watching Tucker last night, watching Hannity last night. I was watching CNN last night just to kind of see different perspectives here. And what is clearer than ever is that both sides are just going to just deliver news.
My heart bleeds for you that you actually had to sit through fucking Hannity, bro. He is so vulgar.
That just feeds their base to just drive their narrative,
I mean,
both sides.
Tucker Carlson's bad
we all
enough.
know how easy it is to edit things. And that's not a political statement. So whatever Tucker shows on his show can be edited. Same thing goes for CNN. So I think January 6th, from an overall standpoint, was a very sad and disgusting day and a stain on America. With that being said, I think the majority of people there were just generally there to protest. The shaman and whatever clowns broke into the Capitol, they should be held to the highest extent of the law, period. And if they're in jail for 2 years, 3 years, two months, whatever it is, it's deserved. Period. What I'm finding interesting now is that, like, you can say the January 6th committee, sham, nobody on there, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, a bunch of Democrats. It's people are losing trust in what the government is, and each media narrative, each side of the narrative is just going to basically say what people want to say. Like, so I believe, and I'm just going to use Tucker's words, Tucker doesn't like Trump behind closed doors, but he loves his base. So he's trying to thread the needle of genuinely appeasing the base, but at the same time distancing himself from Trump. His words. You're seeing what's going on with this whole Dominion lawsuit. Like, let's not forget that Fox is going to be dealing with some shit with this Dominion lawsuit and Murdoch and everything they said. And essentially they knew that Trump lost the election, but they kept perpetuating the story. Carlson, his words, passionately hates Trump. Okay, in a number of text messages in November 2020, Carlson said that Trump's decision to snub Joe Biden's inauguration was, quote unquote, so destructive. Tucker Carlson added that Trump's post-election behavior was, quote unquote, disgusting, and that he was trying to look away from Trump. In another text in a conversation 2 days before the January 6th attack, Tucker Carlson said, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump on most nights. I truly can't wait." These are Tucker's texts. Last but not least.
And Tucker Carlson next to Sean Hannity is like Donald Trump's biggest cheerleader, and that's what he really thinks about him behind his back. It's pretty shocking.
Please, Tucker added, I hate him passionately. Okay, I actually didn't know this about Tucker. I actually thought that he genuinely liked Trump. But again, I think Trump,
he's a good actor.
There it is right there. I hate him passionately. These are Tucker Carlson words. Don't believe Saz over here? Look it up yourself. Okay, he can't wait for Trump to be out there. But who he does respect and he does appreciate is Trump's base.
Don't believe me?
So
Go
Tucker's
look it
trying
up.
to thread the needle,
I ain't making shit
distancing himself from Trump, and at the same time
nothing to-
appeasing
I
the
got
base.
nothing
And
to
that's
gain by
exactly
making shit up
what
on this
Fox
show.
seems to be doing at this point.
But so Adam, so January 6th, you're saying one of the most disgusting. You're not on the AOC and Kamala and all them saying it was compared to 9/11 and Pearl. Hold on,
No,
because I
people-
want to make because I
yeah.
definitely got to. You don't think it was where thousands and thousands of people died and burned and jumped off of buildings? It's to. I hope you're not trying to say because it was disgusting in your eyes. It was nowhere near that because that's what they're saying.
So what's
It
your
was-
question?
So my question is, I can care less about the Tucker text and all that stuff. I don't care about editing. You just saw, because you can watch all these videos. It wasn't an insurrection of trying to take over, whatever. People were just walking around, and hold on.
I'm trying to get to your question. Yeah.
So who died? Like, what was the
Are you asking, do I think January
person that
6th is equal to 9/11? Is that your question?
No, I'm just saying. What you think it was disgusting? Why do you think it was so disgusting? Because people thought that
Jenny,
a
what's
government,
your question?
That people were like, you think was it going too much to go there and just protest, and a couple of assholes got out of line? That's what it was. Are you mad about that?
Okay, so let's.
I don't understand your question.
Hang on.
Yeah.
So let me go through some of the questions.
Yeah.
So do you compare the, January 6th to 9/11 and Pearl Harbor?
Not even close.
Okay, no, he's not there. Just so you know.
No.
But let's.
Thousands of people died in these fucking things.
Good
Not
job,
even close.
moderator.
Let's go to.
Good job, Dr.
Okay,
Evil.
go ahead. Sorry.
At the same time, finish your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it wasn't a proud moment in American history. These are people that should not have been in the Capitol. Again, if you want to go and protest and you want to be out there waving flags, God
Like
bless
everyone
you.
else
Do
does,
it. America,
right?
do everything. But let's stop pretending that these people were up to no good. Okay, like this guy, the shaman, should have not been in the Capitol that day. Why was he in there? None of these guys should have been in there.
Adam. Okay, so the opposite argument to that would be, during the BLM protests, how many people died?
20 to 30. I think more than that.
What have we heard about it?
You're right.
Yeah.
Two things can be true.
No, but
that the
it's-
January 6th was disgusting and
no,
those
no, but
protests
that's
are
not-
disgusting.
no, it's those two are-
But that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
I get that, but your
Boom.
point can be your opinion, but
no,
it's not the truth.
his point is factual. Both of those things can be bad. Ashley Babbitt got shot and killed. Another police officer died the next day of a stroke. 3 other people died at the scene, I believe. So, there were 2 other police officers that took their own lives right after it. There was a lot of bad things happen, and that's not it. If your lazy ass had just taken a few hours to go watch some of the January 6th footage, even if you didn't want to watch the hearings where they were just playing it all raw footage, bro, it was crazy. It was there, and now for you to sit there and act like it wasn't bad, and to say that 2 bad things couldn't, 3,000 people died on 9/11. It wasn't as bad. Black Lives Mattered. 30 people died. That's really bad. 5 people died. 6, 7 people died as a result of what happened there. The deaths wise, that's really bad, man. Whether there's a school shooting and 30 kids get killed or 7 kids get killed, are you going to say, hey, man, that's, the 7 people dying on the other school shooting, that's not bad. Because that's 30 people, man. That's more than twice. That's more than 3 times. That's more than 4 times as many. Dude, 7 kids. What if one of those kids was yours? What if it was your neighbor's kid? Where's your freaking empathy, man? What's up with these guys, man? These right-wingers. I don't get them, man. It's like they stick to this narrative so severely, they don't even see their own hypocrisy.
Because you have to give it to data, meaning, do you know how I said earlier, the 4-day work week, you have to have a definition of success. Let's define success.
I'm going to start heating.
Define. Give me a specific definition of which crisis was bigger based on data. Not opinion, data. Comparing 3 different crises, if we have. How do we define which crisis is worse than the other? Based on what?
Who cares? What a fucking non-issue. I don't even want to listen to this anymore. Now, I would think that the guy in the black and red shirt right now is going to say exactly. I haven't seen this far in, but if he's as smart as me, I think it's going to go. Wait, hold on one second, bro. This is a non-issue. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. The severity of things happening that are bad, it doesn't prove anything. So that's where I'm at with this. While let's just go ahead and see what he's going to say.
What data?
We have deaths.
Hang on. I'm asking him. I'm not asking you guys. I'm asking him.
I'm sorry.
So I'll answer any question you ask, but I don't feel like they even need to be compared. They're both shitty situations.
No, but that's not how life works.
Okay,
listen.
but
that's not how life works.
January 6th can be a disgusting
what a
thing.
Stupid
and
response.
The protest can also be a disgusting
That's not the question,
thing.
though. That's not the question, though. The question is the following. I'm going to ask the question one more time. It's a very logical question. There's no emotion behind this thing here, okay? When people compare LeBron and Michael and Kobe,
you didn't ask that.
Statistically, where does the argument win for LeBron? Where does the argument lose for a Kobe?
Points.
Where does the argument lose for MJ?
Most
so I'll give you
points
mine.
scored.
Kobe's field goal percentage
Of
is the
course.
lowest. It's terrible, okay? Kobe's field goal percentage is not good. To me, he is a good top 5 best player of all time. I don't put him as a number 1
Why
or
is he
2
taking
or 3
so much
or 4.
time for this
but I have him in
analogy?
top 5. That's my opinion
I'm
based
really
on data.
losing respect for
field
this
goal
guy
percentage
more
takes
and more,
a hit,
man.
okay?
He's like a
LeBron
child
James,
sometimes.
the greatest human specimen in the history of the league ever. Did he make the NBA product better or worse like Michael made? I don't know. What did he do to
ready,
the
Cyber?
league? The career in the what do you call it? Finals
All
is
right,
what?
cheers,
He's 4
Cyber.
and what?
Cheers,
What's
everybody
his
else.
record?
No
4
longer
and
going to
6?
cannabis.
Some record like that in the finals.
We're
right?
jabbing it up in the garden.
But statistically, most
Big ol'
points ever,
Iceman
most
size
assists,
that.
more rebounds than any of those guys. Field goal percentage over 50%. Better 3-point shooter. Great, right? Michael Jordan, 6-0. All defensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year. I mean, I can give you a bunch of different things with him. He played 82 games in a season, I think 10 times or 8 times in his career. His last year when he played 82 games. I don't know if LeBron's ever played 82 games in a year. Maybe one, okay? Those are data. I'm asking data again. Question from you again. What specific data makes a crisis worse than the other? Data.
Deaths.
Okay, good. Yeah. I agree. Okay. Yeah. What else? Damage to the city. Property damage. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else can we do? We're coming. I didn't know. So death is one. Property damage. What else?
Death, property damage.
Would you add anything else, or those two?
I mean,
I would add.
You're having a dick measuring
I would call
contest.
it casualties, so
over
death
fucking
and injured people.
Violent events.
People that were absolutely injured. So I would call it casualties. But yes, I agree with property damage.
I mean, those are
how much it affects
He
democracy.
just wanted to talk about sports and basketball players so bad for his little dick measuring contest.
That was sounded like a
political. What does that mean, though?
He's trying to get hit.
No, but
but hang on. Yeah. If we go based on data, the BLM riots and what they did supersedes January 6th in death, 25-30 to 1.
Yes.
Damage to the city, it's not 20 to 1. It's 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Because the insurrection wasn't any damage to the local businesses or anything.
Nothing.
The damage in BLM protests, riots in the streets, fires, local businesses getting hit, it's not 1,000 to 1. It's more like, to be honest with you, it could be 1 billion to 1. It could be 10 billion to 1. The damage to the local business owners. This is data. So for one to be more fanatical, to pin one being bigger than the other, that is propaganda, that is manipulative, that is deceptive. That's the two. In regards to Tucker not liking Trump, I'm not surprised that Tucker doesn't like Trump.
Why are you changing the subject?
I'm not surprised that
this is
you
so
think
weird.
It's like saying, does Anderson Cooper love Joe Biden? Are you kidding me?
Hell no.
You think they like Joe Biden? No. You think any of these left people, you think Rachel Maddow goes to sleep saying,
hey, does Anderson Cooper ever say that he likes Joe Biden? No. Does Tucker Carlson say that he likes Donald Trump? Yes. So, wow.
And oh my God, I can't wait to correct the way that my picture of Joe Biden is in my office when I walk in. No, they don't like Joe Biden. They can't stand me. For every one text of Tucker Carlson saying, I hate Trump, there's thousands of texts on the other side saying, let's get this freaking whatever leader out of here, Biden, because he's making it horrible for us. Let's set that part aside. They have opinions about each other, and Trump's not one that Tucker likes. Fine. All I'm saying here is this was overly promoted by people calling this worse than 9/11 terrorists, all this stuff, to put fear into people and divide America, and they won. They did. And they wanted to push this guy out, Trump, to make sure he never could run again. Those are fanatical things to be saying, okay? Fanatical things to be saying. That's all I'm saying here. I'll give you the final thoughts. We'll go to the last topic here.
Everything you said is accurate. No doubt. Here's where I would like to at least draw a line between your argument and my argument. If you're going to compare the riots or the everything that happened during COVID, I think it's unfair to compare them to what happened on January 6th, and I'll tell you why. Compare those riots to the LA riots in the 90s. Compare those riots to what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. And January 6th, different situation. Compare that to what we just saw happen in Brazil. Compare that to what we just saw in that coup attempt in Turkey 5-6 years ago with Erdogan. To me, those are the comparisons. Well, you did this, so you did this. That to me is an unfair. This is my opinion.
Okay, and you could have it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
So, and to me, that's where I'm comparing it.
And then, and Pat, because I know you want to say something.
What was the worst?
But wait, no. But you can't say that. You can say that, but that just because you said doesn't make it right. Okay. If you're committing crime, robbing store, running out with Louis Vuitton and all these other bags, and nobody's doing shit to you, this guy's going to be in jail for 4 years. That's a life-changing thing for this individual. He's going to be there for 4 years. How many of those guys got away with it? What are they doing to them? It's okay.
You're right on that.
But literally bragged about bringing people to the Capitol, dude.
Ben Harson.
And riling them up.
The longer these guys talk, the more Bitcoin crashes, LOL.
I know, I'm watching it. Psst.
But that's where you...
Should we turn it off and see if it fixes it? We don't want Bitcoin to crash. 21,478. Let's get up to 500. 79. Let's go to 500. Let's go, folks. 80. 5 and a 15 quarter, 2 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 10 and 41, 2 and a 15 quarter, 4, 83, 2 and a 15 quarter, 10 and 478. Don't want to go down. 8 gonna feel great. 3 and a 15 quarter, 10, 10, 54, 78,
cheers,
7.
Nate.
2 and a 15. Cheers to Mountain Life Glass. Cheers to you. 5 and a 15, 21, 444, 34. It's going down, folks. 453. It's going back up. 472. Let's get to 500. 467. 2 and a 15 quarter, 475. 5 and a 15 quarter, 10, 10, 50, 471. 2 and a 15 quarter, 10, 10, 50, 475. 3 and a 15 quarter, 10, 469. 2 Happy P. 2 and a 15, 10, 10, 15, 469. Let's get to 500. 3 and a 15 quarter, 10, 10, 50 quarter, 2, 50 quarter, 5, 50 quarter, 5, 5, 50. Come on, Bitcoin. Let's go. 3 and a 468. Here we go. We're getting on the train, folks. 3 and a 15, 10, 10, 50 quarter, 5, 5. I love not looking at the patterns and not knowing what it's going to do and just so this is what's up. I watched Carl the Moon this morning and he's like, there's a falling wedge pattern. If it goes above this point, it's going to go way up to 25. He says if it falls below this point, it's going to go down to 18.5. We could be going down to 18.5 right now. 478, 2 and a 15, 10, 483, 5 and a 15 quarter, 10. Let's turn it around, Bitcoin. 3 and a 482 and a 15, 5, 5 and a 15 quarter, 10, 10, 50 quarter, 2, 2, 50 quarter, 4, 487, 5 and 15 quarter, 10, 484, 2 and a 15 quarter, 2, 2, 15, 484, 5, 15 quarter, 4, 44, 60, 2, 491, almost 500, 489, 492, 2 and a 15 quarter, 10, 10, 50 quarter, 2, 2, 50 quarter, 5, 5, 50 quarter, 2, 2, 50, come on, folks. 492 and a 15 quarter, come on, Bitcoin. 488, 3 and a 15 quarter, 10, 10, 4, 492 and a 15, 2, 2, 50 quarter, 10, 10, 50 quarter, 5, 5, 50, 491, 2 and a 15, 495, 503. I knew it. I'd auctioneer that bitch right up because I've got the power. I've got the power. I've got the power. That's what's up. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I love y'all. I will talk to you later. We'll see what happens with the Bitcoin. I'll keep my eyes on it. And you guys keep your eyes on those notifications for my show. maybe around 3 or 4 tonight. We'll do something like we normally do, or later. We might do something later. We'll see what's going on. Okay, man. Hashtag keep it open. You guys take care. Love y'all. Oh, and in the meantime, find me over there on Twitter at Nay's Garden. Come, and I'm not just saying the words, man. I want you guys to like pick up your phone, man. Like turn it on, you know, and open up Twitter and come on over there and find at Nay's Garden. Come over there and help me out, man.
Ben Harson.
That's where I'll be. At Nay's Garden on Twitter. Thanks, guys. Love y'all.